Welcome to the first ever GameCircuit OVERDRIVE pre-show. In each episode, we will be looking at the statistics of the matches and the games throughout the week. Matches, transfers, teams, players, and interviews. Like, really is all of the above. And talk about a pre-show here, because none of the action has even gotten underway. I should say, stumbling over my words there a little bit. That's because I'm excited to get all this underway. Zepcast here, joined by Chief Lid, and I mean, we're going to be getting into so much, looking into what's coming in the upcoming season of the GameCircuit League. But first, I'll talk to you, man. Chief Lid, how are we doing? How are we feeling about this upcoming season?
Oh, mate, I cannot absolutely wait for it. Welcoming everybody as well. Thank you very much, Zeb, for that, mate. Yeah, this is going to be an absolute corker, mate. And we were discussing earlier, weren't we, about why we want to do this. I'll kick us off with it as well. So the reason why I wanted to get into this GameCircuit OVERDRIVE, like I said, going into the Black Ops 2 competition that's coming up now, so really eager to get into it, only because you've been playing it for so long. Well, I'd say as a youngster, I'm 40 years old now, so I'm going to admit to that. I'm going to put it out there right now, but absolutely loved playing it, and the opportunity now to come back into it and to be cast in this fantastic game now is such a great opportunity. And Zep, I don't know about for you, mate, that's my reasons for coming in. But why do you want to come in and do this?
Well, listen, I mean, if I'm doing my math correctly on this one, and I promise I'm not trying to make you or anyone else watching at home feel a bit old by this, but I think I was about 11 years old when Black Ops 2 came out, right? So,
yeah,
I'm 27 years old. I've got a few years yet to go before I'm officially UNC status. But, Black Ops 2 was a game for me. Like, when Black Ops 2 came out, when I was younger, I was just a massive Zombies fan. That was all it was for me. But, again, I was at that age. Couldn't really get those games, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 for me were both games where I go over to my cousin's house. My cousins had it. They were allowed it. So you get a couple of sneaky games over there, And look, it's a game, including the old Modern Warfares, all that original, golden era of COD, right, is so fundamental to everything that we know today. And COD today is a title that is certainly contentious. A lot of people have their feelings about it. I still do love the game. I think there's so much, potential and possibility in COD, but all of that is built upon the fundamentals that were founded years ago within the titles like Black Ops 2, like even what the CWL becoming the CDL, how even our professional Call of Duty shaped up. None of that would have happened without the likes of Black Ops 2 really cementing what was to come. And that's, I think, the same across all modes. You look at Zombies and how it progressed, none of that would have happened without the success of Black Ops 2. And I mean, considering we're probably going to be getting Black Ops 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in the next years, is all a testament to how much Black Ops, those original games, matter to the ecosystem, and what is a $1 billion ecosystem as well. So the opportunity to be able to come in here and, get a look at this game, a game that I only ever really reached level 20 playing a couple of public matches on, never even knew a competitive, to finally get back and look at what has made everything so great, including it, of course, being great. It's a tremendous honor, and getting to go back to see the original game and see players try and adjust. And, that's something we're going to be getting into throughout the show as well, how we think players are going to be able to adjust their gameplay coming off the fast-paced new games and going in back into the slower-paced original Black Ops 2.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I said, you just hit the nail on the head there, going from one extreme to the other with the gameplay, with the Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7, come the Omni movement, all that good stuff, where we go back to Black Ops 2, where none of that exists. It doesn't exist. So it's going to be interesting to see how the OGs, and we could call, the people probably who did play it when it first came out, are going to compete against the youngsters today who are all used to jumping around, flying around the map, sliding, all that kind of good stuff. And none of that is going to be, it's all going to be a miss to them. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do adapt to that type of gameplay as well going into it. I cannot wait to get stuck into it, mate. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal, no doubt about it. So while we're then, ladies and gents, let's talk about now the format and everything else we got going for this GameCircuit Pro League, or open events we got going. We're going to touch more on that, Zep, in a second. But the best thing about this, ladies and gents, is that it's an open format event, which is for everyone. Everyone can sign up for this. This is the best part about it. It gives it that old school MLG feel to it all again, which is what we definitely want to try and bring back to an old school game we got coming back to us. Like I said, we still talk about that Black Ops 2 moment, and we're going to go into more detail about that in a second as well. So, and as we're talking about it as well, going through all the good stuff we got coming forwards as well. So, like I said, taking us all back to Black Ops 2, let's talk about those maps and rule set and all that kind of good stuff. We're going to touch base on it now, and I know Zep is going to jump in when he can and talk about some of the old maps we all love to play and all the old weapons we used to love as well. And this is a good thing about it as well. Not everything is restricted, which is absolutely fantastic as well. We don't want to see any of that anymore. But the maps coming in for that, then is just like I said, we're going to talk about quickly the old school maps coming in as well. So when we say raid, it's not the raid we see today. It's a completely different raid map as well. So it's a very, very old school looking one as well, and it's going to be an absolute phenomenal map. And that comes across all 3 game modes as well, along with standoff coming in as well, again across all 3 game modes. And we got Yemen for hardpoint, and everybody knows as well. I think it was on either P3, P4. Could be corrected on that one, but it was one part where you were sitting at, again, we talked about anchoring the spawn zep. If you anchor that spawn on Yemen, mate, you've got absolutely no chance, especially if you've got a fantastic AR player coming in, running around on that one. Slums coming in as well. We love a bit of Slums. That's an old school map we all love to see. And then coming in as well, Hijacked. And that is going to be an absolutely interesting one, mate. Like I said, because there's no weapon bans, well, there are weapon bans, but only a few of them, mate. And I think we were talking about earlier, well, that Shotgun Remington coming in, and it was mentioned by Flame as well, one of the organisers as well, saying about imagine having 4 people running around with Remingtons on Hijacked. It's going to be absolutely horrible. It's going to be disgusting. And then going on to Search and Destroy, then we picked on a couple of maps. Express comes in. We love a bit of Express coming in. We always see again remade and brought back in. Meltdown and then Aftermath as well on that one. Like I said, we got Raid, Standoff, and Slums completed the map set for that Capture the Flag game there. And then we were just talking about as well the weapons as well, mate. We haven't got a ban on all the weapons. So like I said, we get to see the Remington shotgun, we get to see the ARs come in. It's only a few banned weapons in there, like the LMGs were so dominant back then as well. So they are definitely getting a ban on that one. But let's talk about, mate, very, very quickly, the kill streaks. Now, some people have very different views on it. Zep, what are your views on the kill streaks coming back into the fold?
Listen, I love a good kill streak, all right? I mean, I get why, you know, in the modern CODs, again, they've been taken out of it a little bit because they're always trying to make the games as close as possible, right?
Yeah.
I think even touching on the maps is one of the reasons why we don't see a lot of these maps come back into comp, yet we see them remade, right? Because the way the modern CODs play just doesn't suit the way the old maps were built in terms of a competitive sensibility. But, you know, in terms of the streaks, I do like seeing a streak. Again, I go back to Black Ops 3 where the streaks were so important, and it is that idea in general of, I mean, it's why I loved even playing COD in pubs, why I began with it, that reward for your efforts. You know, if I'm sitting there and I've gotten 10 kills in a row, do you know what? I'd like to have something for that 10 kills in a row instead of a pat in the back and maybe a wee medal to look at that won't be relevant when the next game comes out. You know, I want something in-game that allows me to go, yes, I'm dominating against you guys, and now you're going to really feel the power of it. And that's where the streaks come through. And again, in competitive, that just is elevated to a whole nother level, right? So I am super excited to see these streaks come back. They've been very much missing from the last couple of CODs, and I'm excited to see how often we get to see them utilized. And it's something that you and Flame were talking about before we started recording today, of the veto being allowed in as well. Again, I wouldn't have much experience with that myself, but I mean, as you guys were saying, and I think you put it well, like if it's been left in and if anyone's doing good enough to get the veto, you know what? They deserve it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's one of those as well. You know, like again, we were talking about the stealth chop as well, but for you to get the VTOL in a hard point or maybe even potentially a capture the flag, there's 2 things about this. One, you're having an absolute storm of a game, as you just said there. If you're earning those kills and you're earning that kill streak, then why not? Why shouldn't you get it? And then the other opposite side to that is obviously the other opposite team are having an absolute howler, which again, it's like everybody's entitled to their days off. But if you're having a howl of a game and somebody's got a VTOL, then grizz it, bear it. Because then, as you said, mate, then it could completely overturn the other way. Somebody else might go on a massive kill streak and get the VTOL in themselves. I've seen it happen. It has happened so many times. And like I said, it'd be interesting to see how they do get on. And it all depends as well. Who's going to be brave enough to put the VTOL on? I know Flame said earlier he will, so keep an eye on that one. But the other streaks coming in as well. The RCXD, the traditional RCXD, we absolutely love that one. The Lightning Strike, along with the Hellstorm, that's always in there for everything. And then the War Machine coming in as well. And that's an absolute naughty kill streak as well. If you're running around with that War Machine, stand by if you haven't got Flak Jacket on. Let's just keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that one anyway. It's going to be an absolute fantastic tournament now. And I'm talking about the tournament as well. That leads me on to, as we spoke about earlier, the format coming into this one as ladies and gents. Like I said, massive event schedule coming up as well. So like I said, we've got to kick it off with a kickoff event, as we like to call it as well. 16 teams can enter into that one, and they will get points in that as well. I'll talk about the points very, very shortly as well. And going forward as well, 4 open events as well. So they are very, very important. And why are they important? As we talk about those point systems then. So if you do go into these open events and you get the points that you need to, you will then be entered into a Pro Division Season 1. So the top 16 teams will go into that division where they'll compete then for, again, it's always on a points-based system. So again, compete competing for those points to try and get the top seed. Or you always want to be the top seed. You always want to be the winner in these events. And then going further down, like I said, after more open events. So even if you don't make that pro season, still plenty more open events and get those points in for you, where we do finish off in with the European Championship at the very, very end. And all these games will be casted, all be streamed, all that between me and Zepp going forward for these ones. And let's quickly then talk about the website. So they've got the GameCircuit Championship website. If you've not seen it, ladies and gents, that is where you can go and sign up for your teams. It's got an old school feel. Again, we're going back to the old school. This is the theme of everything that we're talking about at the moment. And it's got all the details in there. It's got all the event schedules coming up as well. So like I said, our first one coming up now on the 16th of August is the kickoff tournament I was talking about, where 16 teams can enter for that one. It's got everything in there. Like I said, I'm talking about the rule set. I mean, Zep were just covering very, just a couple of minutes ago there. It's got all that in there, all the news, everything you need to know about this lovely little season coming up for us for this one. And Zep, mate, I'm super excited for it. I cannot wait for me to go back and get it stuck into this, mate.
Yeah, I mean, look, everything about what we're seeing from the GameCircuit Championship here is exactly what you want to see from something that has OG, right? We're going back to an OG game that has Black Ops 2, OG formats, OG weapons, OG streaks. What better way to supplement that than an OG-looking website? Some people may click on the website and say, hey, this looks like 10, 12 years old. What the hell? And we'll be like, yeah, that's the damn point. It looks fantastic. It harkens back to an era that is so fondly remembered by so many people, and for good reason. You know, just because things nowadays have a little bit of the bells and whistles about them doesn't mean they're any good. The GameCircuit Championship website is absolutely fantastic. I mean, Chief Lid, as you were saying, you know, all the different sections, everything that you need to know, you can find out through the website. And then, you know, scrolling down to the talent section as well, I have to say they have two beautiful talents down there in the casters, and I'm sure there'll be more added there in future. But of course, add them below us, guys. You know, we're the top dogs here at the GameCircuit. But no, again, off the back of your point, to conclude on this, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. The format is brilliant. It harkens back to the days of old, where, you know, COD was a thing loved by many in such a raw form. And for every team to be able to come through and get a chance to get through to the European Championships at the end of it is fantastic. It truly means that it is anyone's game. It could be anyone's season, and you're going to want to make sure to get signed up and get those points early. So again, whenever this goes out, I'm not actually too sure, but with that kickoff tournament coming up, the 16-team single elimination tournament for 100 series points to go through for the points of the season, you know, do make sure to get yourself signed up to that. And if it's already happened and you didn't get signed up, shame on you, because also for the championship as well, if you get all the way through, you have a prize pool of £450. So again, a lot to play for, but fundamentally, at the end of the day, you're playing to have a good time and going back to the era of Black Ops 2. So ladies and gentlemen, to round it out in our final section here today of the first ever GameCircuit Overdrive pre-show. Is it the Overdrive pre-show? It's the pre-season pre-show. It's a special pre-show nonetheless, but an opportunity for us to actually figure out what we should be naming this going forward. So I mean, I don't know if you have any ideas. I'm stumped. I mean, look, good names. I mean, I quite like Overdrive, but you know, again, for people watching, let us know in the comments or wherever on social media what you think the show should be named. But please keep it friendly. I know what you people can be like in the Call of Duty scene, but we want to round this out. We want to round out the pre-show by telling you what to expect, you know, going forward into more pre-shows, right? As I said, this is sort of the special pre-season pre-show. We're giving you a little bit of an insight as to how things are going to be, but when we get down into the nitty-gritty of the seasons, we're going to be breaking down how tournaments went, how league games went, having interviews with players, discussing player statistics throughout the season, really getting a look at what each and every player is bringing to the table, how the seasons are shaping out, and if we have any potential storylines brewing of teams, whether they're dominating from the beginning or an underdog potentially making their rise at the back end of a season to try and fight their way through into the European Championship. I mean, it's everything you want, Chief, isn't it, out of something like this, where it's just giving you a little bit more insight and giving a little bit more bang for your buck in regards to what you're actually physically watching from the games, how that is translating over to a show like this and breaking it all down.
Yeah, and I think as well, as to doing that as well, I think it gives a nice insight for the teams and the players as well to see how well they performed. I know they all have their own analytics, as we could say, behind the background watching these games and doing it all for them. But I think just for us to show it to them as well, one, it makes their life easier as well, so they don't have to do it all the time and watch it. But for us as well, I love chatting about it, and because we see it on screen as well, and then for us to go and chat about it, we can relive that moment of somebody having a fantastic play or a team pulling out a fantastic fantastic play as well. And what I'm really, really looking forward to is those interviews as well, pulling players and teams in for interviews. And like I said, when they have that banter go back and forth, especially if it's a tournament where we had two teams who are in the grand finals and then one beats the other, they're bringing them both in, get their feel for how they felt the game went, but also having those bants across the board as well. That's the bit I'm looking forward to the most. So bringing those in and getting that we could say friendly banter, but as you pointed out as well with the Call of Duty scene, how toxic it can be sometimes. But we will alleviate that. We'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, of course. Look, we'll always try to keep at a level, right? We'll keep it fun, but we won't be seeing a Celium Rancor moment that they had on the stage there at EWC. It'll be well, maybe it'll be some virtual pushes and shoves. But look, talk about the game circuit. I mean, this is not something that has just simply started, right? It's not something that just because it came out on PS5 and PS4 with Black Ops 2 that we're going, okay, let's get this ball rolling. Chief Lid, you know yourself, we have been in conversations about this with the game circuit. We've been hearing rumblings of the game circuit, what they're bringing to the table for months prior, where it was going to be on Xbox consoles, and then just the beautiful timing of the game coming out on PS5, PS4. It just left us with this opportunity where we got to go now and we got to go huge. And the game circuit is going to provide such a huge, fantastic season. Really cannot wait to get into it. And again, folks, make sure you're getting yourself signed up, regardless of what platform you're seeing these videos. Make sure to go and sign up and take a look and get involved with your friends, because beyond the competitive nature of it, beyond the old heads coming back with maybe a point to prove, and beyond maybe the new heads wanting to show the old heads like, yeah, we're the new generation, I'm sure there'll be all those fights in there. But beyond all of that, stripping it all back, it's just about having fun.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Hopefully everyone will have. I know we'll definitely have fun with it, and I think, like I said, it's going to bring back the OGs. It's going to bring back the new players in who are going to be looking at it thinking it's a new game. It is a new game for them, you know. They've never would have played. Some people would never ever even played it before. They probably jumped in the scene, you know, with Modern Warfare 3 or even later on again, Black Ops 5, for example, you know. So for them to come back into this, I think it'd just be a fantastic opportunity, and it's to change it up as well before we see Modern Warfare 4. Potentially it's going to be an absolute corker, but potentially it could be an absolute disaster. But, you know, like I said, we all want a change of scene, and this is the place to do it, ladies and gents. You do not want to go missing this one.
Yeah, absolutely. The Game Circuit Overdrive pre-season, pre-show concluding here, and I think concluding on the great point of that. If Modern Warfare 4 is not going to be your cup of tea, that's fine. Feel the warm hug and the sweet embrace of Black Ops 2, because it is here to stay on console with PS5 and PS4 the upcoming season, and potentially more seasons ahead, provided we get the love and support from y'all as we get up and running. But that concludes us here for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Zepcast, joined by Chief Lids. We hope to see you in the upcoming season. The next time you'll probably see us on a video like this will be the next pre-show, breaking down the first kickoff tournament. But of course, make sure you don't miss that kickoff tournament, as well as we will make sure to be there broadcasting live over those games. We hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a like, give it a share around with your friends. We'll see you all in the next one.